Hi, what is going on, everybody? How y'all doing? This is an exciting day in MCoC. I have a guest today, a guest co-host. I'm really excited to have him here, giving the analysis, doing the whole thing. I'm going to let him introduce himself, and I'm going to be setting up because he even has face cam set up. Really excited to see you all. This is going to be awesome. I genuinely am pumped up. You see the pinned comment, the whole thing. We're going to start a little bit early so we can talk about this and all that. But Matt, whose channel is linked in the
Hello.
description. Make sure you check that out. Matty, hello. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Why don't you talk to the people?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. I mean, this is one of the first times that me as a free-to-play player, let alone as a content creator, has properly sat down and analyzed one of these events. Because normally I just let it fly by me. But I'm very much looking forward to digging in, trying to find the guaranteed value, and hopefully, I know it's basically impossible to answer this question, but hopefully being able to get close to providing an answer. Should you, as a free to play player with X amount of units, spend on Cyber or spend on Banquet? And I'm going to do my best to get close to an answer, even though the whole point of this November December period is that that's impossible to answer. But there we go. Yeah.
Everyone in the chat, if you can let me know, are the sounds relatively equal, even? Obviously, I want to make sure you can hear Maddie. I would like it if you could hear me, but you might not want to. The game, right? The various clicks and clacks and that sort of thing. If you could let us know in the chat, I'm going to take a moment and welcome everyone. And Maddie's right. We're going to answer. There's two major questions I think we all have today. Is should I spend my units on Cyber Weekend or save them for Banquet? Also, what is the meaning of life? We will be tackling both of those today and providing the answers. I think it's very clear. You can see we both have hats on. You know, people are serious when they are wearing hats. You know that is a sign of seriousness. What is up, Chop? Mr. Rushing Hilgendorf. What is up, dude? Godstare, Sleep. How you doing, man? Hey, it's AJ. What's up, dude? I love that name, man. It makes me smile every time. Feel the pressure pen. I personally use it. Okay. You'll use the field of battle. FOMO addiction is good. Okay, I was like, ooh, I want to read this sentence internally before I say it out loud. It's a fun way to battle things. I love that, man. I think that's competitive. We use all of our tools that we have available to us to do this, so that's awesome. I love that you're doing that. Like I said, I wanted to read the rest of the sentence though. Like I want to see where this is going before I just say it on stream. Red Hat, what's up, dude? Only spending frank resources. I could care less about crystals. That's the way to go, in my opinion. I want to say hello to everyone. Make sure we got our sounds good, and then we will go and kind of just give like some big, broad thoughts before we actually see what's actually for sale. What's up, Silency? How you doing? OG Highline, how you doing, man? Shade, YouTube user, what's up, dude? Appreciate you being here. PJ Vice, hey, thanks, bud. Thanks for being here. Bloody cold, Maddie. I'm guessing you're in the jacket. Yeah, Maddie, it's cold. If you've been watching Maddie's videos, you know it is not warm. It's cold here too in San Francisco. I want to make sure everyone, I'm glad we're having empathy and sympathy for Maddie. I think that's important. But you guys should know, I'm looking at my watch right now. It is down to 52 degrees and sunny right now where I live. So send a lot of that concern towards me. I'm a native Southern Californian. It gets below 60, my blood starts freezing. It's bad. It's really, really bad. So just keep that in mind. Nicholas, what's up? Hey, Nick, what's up, dude? I've been enjoying the comments with you the last couple of months, the evolution of it all, man. I'm glad to see you here. Glad to see you excited. Um, Marvel Contest of Champions. That's not, that's just someone using the name, right? Now we can buff 7 stars 14 times, which makes it, okay. Yeah, I'm like, that can't really be them. What's up? Well, thank you for being here regardless. What's the team hat? Is that the Eagles? It is the Eagles. I think most of you know, no, you might not. Hey, it's a fun thing to talk about. So I grew up in Southern California. I actually grew up in the greater LA area, kind of in between LA and Orange County. Technically, it was LA. And when I was a kid, both the Rams and the Raiders, the two NFL teams, left town. And I think that's probably part of why I developed my kind of like defiant attitude about various things in sports in particular. I was like, I don't need you. Yeah, get out of here. We didn't want you anyway. And at that time, the Randall Cunningham was like the ultimate weapon, literally the cover of Sports Illustrated. He was like the greatest thing I'd ever seen in my life. Still to this day, I mean, that football right there, that my wife gave that to me when we got married. We gave each other wedding gifts, and that's an autographed football by Randall Cunningham. So yeah, the guy just blew me away. I loved watching him play. I wish he could have played in today's game. And I just stayed an Eagles fan from I was probably like in 3rd or 4th grade, I think. until now where I'm literally almost 50. So there you go. So yes, it is Eagles. No one has said anything. So I assume Matty, they can hear you all, and we're kind of on the same level. If we're not, please let me know. I want to address one last thing, and then we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna talk. Let's get Matty on camera or some time because he's a hilarious guy. I really enjoy him. The boycott, and I see the question for it. And for those of you who are like, wait a minute, boycott's not big in the bottom left-hand corner. What the hell is going on right here? I told you all, I will not be spending until after Cyber Weekend at the soonest. Okay, this sale is just starting. They're leaving it up for 2 weeks. I will not be saying, I told you that. I promised you that. That will not be changing. I still intend to go through the process I said, polling my channel members. If someone could tell me how to gift channel memberships, I would actually gift 50 today. I just can't figure it out. I have no idea. Like I said, I'm almost 50. I'm old, okay? But the intention is to gift 50, so it's not just people with large discretionary incomes making that vote. I will say, and this is what I want to add, though, is we had 2 main points for the boycott. There's 4 broader ones. The big one for me was the AI. I need an update on it. I want to know what's going on. I want to see it implemented. I want facts. Like, I don't, when it comes to the AI, I don't want just posts, but I would love a post with some material information. Okay. And 2, and me and the way I am, this one was maybe even a bigger deal. I probably should have made it number 1, but we live and we learn, is respect for the players. Okay. Respect for the players, respect for me, the way my community, my viewers are being treated. And I'm going to analogize it to like the carnival. Like the more I think about this game, what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, why something, what seems small to you guys, to me is a big deal. And all of that is, I feel like this game's a lot like a carnival. Now, I like going to carnivals. I enjoy them. I enjoy playing the games. I know the games are a little bit rigged. I know they are. But I know that, like, if I get really good at them, I might come home with a big old teddy bear for my kids that's going to cost me $50 because sunk cost fallacy. I'm like, well, I definitely can. I'm a good basketball player. I should be able to make this basket, but I don't realize that the actual hoop is significantly smaller. These various things. And I've now paid $50 for a stuffed animal that probably cost 25 cents. But if everyone there is treating me well, if everyone there is treating me well, if my kids are having a good time, if the show is really good, I don't mind that I'm walking around on a bunch of hay. I don't mind that I like spent $50 on a teddy bear because I'm being treated well. My kids are being treated well. I'm ready. I'm excited. I hope the carnival comes back in a month, right when it leaves town. And that's how I really feel about this game. And to be clear, that's a compliment. That's not an insult. And what's gone on with the community team, and I'm going to say their names because I'm being positive. When I'm negative or critiquing, I try not to say names. But Dorky Dave and Karate Mike, and yes, I have had private conversations with them the last week. I have. Okay. I will tell you that I was as transparent with you all as I can. Dave's post where he took responsibility and, in my opinion, was a man I respect and want to work with. It helped me see a lot of things very differently. I've talked with both of them, and I reviewed a lot of things along the way that had upset me. There was a tremendous amount of miscommunication. And I then went back and reviewed a lot of what I feel like the community team, being Dave and Mike, have done over the last couple of months. And it feels like the ending of The Sixth Sense. I hope that lands, that analogy, where you can look at the exact same things that have been happening and be like, oh, I see this so differently now. And so if the community teams are going to continue to do that, and they're going to continue to treat all of us well, doesn't mean they're going to do what we want. Let's be clear on that. That doesn't mean they're going to do what we want. It just means that they're genuinely trying. And if they're going to do that, then I am hyped and pumped to cover this game. And so for me, honestly, like as I sit back and think about my own thoughts on this, I'm excited about this game again. I'm excited to cover this game. I'm excited to cover it with you and stream and do videos. I think you guys, I put up 4 videos yesterday. That was, at the end of the night, my wife's like, what have you been doing downstairs? And I was like, what? A lot of really cool stuff happened. Like as she started to get like bored, I could see her yawning. She's like, oh, it's really, but I was like, no, you don't understand. They put out this post and they told us information about this thing that's not happening for 3 months. And people are going to get they're going to get shards for an ascension gem. Like it's crazy. I've never seen them do this before. I've been playing for 10 years. And she was like, you're still a little boy, aren't you? And I was like, yes, I am. So that's what you guys are seeing. That's what's happening. That all being said, my priority remains with you all, covering the game with you, for you, telling you how I think I'm going to be advancing, how I think you should. And I told you all, I will not be spending on this Cyber Weekend sale. That is not going to change. It is not going to change. But I think if you've been paying attention, you see my tone on this game has done a complete 180. And you guys said why. All right, let's let Matty talk. I want to hear Matty. I love Matty. Matty, I've been talking a lot. So I need units. I need units. If I'm not spending in this game, I've been told units don't just show up automatically. You got to do things for them. Is that accurate?
That is accurate, but
Okay.
it's an odd process for units. It's always you kind of, you can never really know how much you're gonna get. They kind of tend to seep into your account slowly, and one day you'll turn around and you'll have 1,000 more. But if you just don't spend your units throughout the year, like I spent 5,000 getting a 7-star Tiger of a Heart of Fire, and I'm very happy about that. But like at the start of the year, I thought, well, I'm not really gonna do any. I don't do any arena grinding apart from to get the 3 stars from crystals, and yet I'm sitting on 12,000. They kind of just appear slowly. So there is a concentrated route to get your units. You can go down the grinding route, and I'm sure if you watch breakdown videos on how much you can get 25, 30,000 pretty. I was about to say pretty easily. It's not easy. You have to grind your life away, but you can do it. But if you sit on your backside and wait for them to come to you doing random stuff here or there, you can get enough to survive and get a decent banquet if banquet actually performs. Unfortunately, it didn't last year, but you can get a decent banquet just by not spending. And Vega, I'm seeing, are you doing arena?
I am. I actually grinded out. I can't remember. That's how long ago this was. It was either like 4-star Hyperion or 4-star Havoc. I think it was Hyperion. So that's like just a couple months ago, obviously, because the 4 stars were the meta. All seriousness, we were on a trip. Most of my extended family lives in San Diego, as well as my wife's, and we were down there, and everyone, like literally everyone but me, got very sick. And I don't know why I didn't, but I did not. And I was in this place where I was trying to like help take care of my kids and my wife and my in-laws because we were at their house. While also not sure, they were all blaming food poisoning, but I was like, we ate the same food, right? Like,
yeah.
And so I didn't.
And you had to resort to 4-star Hyperion.
I had to because I needed something to do. Like you guys have to. Yeah, a lot of y'all don't have in-laws probably because you shouldn't be married yet. You're young, go live your life, have fun. But when you're at your in-laws, there's often not a lot of fun things to do, right? And so yeah, there was a lot of me laying on a sofa being like, I guess I want Hyperion. So yeah, so that's it.
I can't blame you.
Yeah,
Hyperion's great. I'm not gonna blame you for that.
I still use that 4-star Hyperion all the time. He's my main war champ. Yeah.
I mean, if you gave that to Sweden, I'm sure he'd be fine. He'd find a way.
Sweden would make it work.
Yeah, he would. He has a revive stash that seems to go on. Not a revive stash, a boost stash that seems to go on forever. It's quite impossible to work out how he gets that. But anyway, how far are we out? What, 13 minutes?
I think
we have things in the objectives.
We're pretty cool. Oh, you want to check that? That's a great idea. That's a good
objectives. Idea. It's 15,000 units for first appearance versions of Yondu and Super Skrull.
Okay.
And 10,000 for the ordinary version.
Let's get this sorted. Thanks for bringing that up. That this is already up. I will need to restart my game very, very quickly. Everyone's like, no. Let's just watch you do arena. That was fun. We wanna see arena.
Time they've ever seen you do it.
Yeah,
it's novel content.
I'm in San Diego. I've never recovered from sickness where I have allergic reaction to any weather that's not perfect. AJ, so thank you for understanding essentially my bad joke about why I'm wearing a beanie and people should be concerned about the 50-degree weather. All right, let's take a look at what's live in in game first? No, let's check the the store here.
Store. To be completely fair, my room is only a little bit colder than where you are right now.
There
So
you go.
I think mine is just under 50 degrees in freedom units. So that's not. I have respect for you, right? You and your hat right now.
Thank you.
But it does seem that being a San Diegan and being British are not all too dissimilar because we are also allergic to non-perfect weather. There's like a 2-degree gap, and like that's okay, and the rest of it is completely unacceptable.
All right. So this is the web store. I do want to say this because we haven't said this yet. I tweeted it and all that. Is like, guys, only spend if both of these conditions are met. It's a two-pronged test. One, you are having fun in the game. Okay. Spending won't make the game fun, in my opinion. You need to already be having fun. Matty did a great podcast type interview with this recently. And two, only if it fits within your discretionary budget now. Like, don't make room in your budget for it. Okay. There's always going to be other sales. What we get, or well, what people get today will be powerful now. It might not be powerful in 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 months. Some of it will, some of it won't. The game is always evolving. They're always growing it. That's part of what you're either enjoying about the game or you're not. Please, seriously, I would much rather you go watch one of my other videos, go take a walk outside, go buy something for yourself or your just someone else, just do something else than spend money on this game that's not exciting to you and already fitting your budget. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at this. This is the it's actually on the web store here. So this will only come through spending on the web store. I can't make it move to the side.
In the group chats has said that the sale is up early if you relaunch the game. Someone in the YouTube chat. I'm just real. Oh, it's open. It's up. It's up. He's right. It's up.
I'm more concerned that the store itself seems frozen. Let me know if that's happening to anyone else. Let's go ahead and take a look at the sale in the store. So this is the profile picture. This is the the Royal Horde token that it looks like if you log in every single day, you will for free be able to take part in one of the offers. What that offer is like relative to others, we have no idea. We're about to find out, but I will be logging in every day to take advantage of that. So I recommend you do that. And
we see it. It's all in the game. It's all there.
Okay.
It's all here. It's early, maybe a little bit. I have the offer in front of me.
Let's take a look at the unit offers first. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've seen those two. They look nice.
They look juicy.
At least at first glance. I don't want to get it wrong, but it at first glance it looks pretty nice.
Okay. Yeah. If you're spending money, make sure you use support that MCoC Illuminati. 3 of them have got codes. We've got MCoC Encyclopedia, MCoC Noob, and Nagase. 3 channels I'm sure you're familiar with. Okay. I mean, just off first glance, guys, I want to say, because I know this is a big topic for a lot of people, I'm not going to be using my units on this today. It maybe if there's like a $500 or 500 unit offer or something like that, I'll consider it. But I'm excited for Banquet, and when I'm talking about spending for the fun and all that, Banquet sounding more fun to me. I've only got about 7,000 units anyway, so I'm not gonna be able to go real deep on this. What are you getting for 2,000 units there? What is that? That's a lot of
2,000. Yeah, we've got a lot of stuff, and as a free to play player, we're looking at bundle 1, and I also think bundle 4 as well. Depends on exactly where you're at, but because you have that generic gem, but obviously in bundle 1 you have a bit more flexibility with where you want to put your particular resources. But it seems, I don't know. I'm gonna have to do some thinking.
Hey, Matty, are you thinking about participating in this at all? I know you answered that early, but I was setting a lot of stuff up, so I wasn't able to pay attention.
I am if I see value for so I'm comparing it off 2 events that I've taken part in.
Yeah.
And this may take some explaining, and the 2 events are Banquet last year and then extrapolating forward to this year, which is not the best indicator, but it'll do. And the other event is the Deadpool Redemption event. So the spring cleaning.
Got it.
Where the sells over a free that one. That event one thing, just logging in, getting everything in game, was a B. I got threes, and one of them I took straight from three. So I'm looking for at least that much value, and I'm gonna price it at how much money, or how many units I spent on Banquet last year, because I know this isn't the sort of free event that we had of spring cleaning. We do have a free bundle, but it's not that sort of event. So we're looking to spend some units, but let's keep it down to like 8,000 units. I think that's how much I spent last year. And I'm looking for that sort of value at least. And then I'll make the decision. Because I know that Banquet, no matter how well they dress it up in the live stream, is after all the free for all.
Yes.
And I have no clue what's going on. And their track record suggests it's not going to live up to what I would like it to be.
And we do have
my careful analysis.
An interesting thing here of like here's the other thing I want to say now is if you're in between the two, if you're really unsure, wait. This sale is going to stay up for 2 weeks. Bam just gave us a ton of information that they historically have never given us about what's coming up. I'm hopeful, or I'm thinking that they're aware, and in the next 2 weeks we might get more information, because I think these are great guaranteed assets. These are great. Like this is a generic 3/4 gem, and this is that picky picker. So I've like it's I'm feel like I'm remembering this was a really good pool of champions. Yeah. Okay. This now remember though, a lot of these champions are coming to the basic crystal in December. This is part of why I'm hoarding crystals and waiting till December. The thing is, the 7-star basic pool is massive. So I think that's pretty good. What excites me more though about it is that generic 3/4 gem for 5,000 units. Is that like, to me that sounds like a ton of units though. Well, I'm not saying it's bad value or good value, just that sounds like a lot. Matt, what are you thinking on that?
There, let's say we want to get there as cheaply as possible. I want that selector and I want that 3/4 gem. It's 3,000 units to unlock the first level or the second, and then it's 10,000 to unlock that. So it's 15,000 units for that. But on top of the rewards you're going to get from these bundles, you also get the first appearance. I mean, Super Scroll exists, right? But I'm just going to say you get the first appearance Yondu, because I know who I'm picking. Yeah, Yondu looks very spicy. So it's... And on top of that, actually, as well, just a word on the Yondu. It seems that with the... we log in every day and we get these 14... What are they called? These
like horde tokens or something like that.
Yeah, horde tokens. If you get all of the horde tokens, so you max out that track, and we're talking a lot more money and units, a lot more, it does seem possible to take both Super Scroll and Yondu to rank 4 using gems, either specific or generic gems, and at least one of them to Sig 200. That's what that track says, but it's a lot more money you have to spend to earn that. Just a note on that.
Okay, and we do have the CCP promo code now. Thank you, Dante, for giving it out. I've put it into
Mary
the
Poppins
store. So
that's Mary Poppins.
Yeah, I thought we should marry her. I was wrong. This is actually, let's be happy.
Let me go and
so this is what you get for the promo code here. I don't know actually what it is. I'm pretty excited to see this. Ravagers Real Crystal Selector.
I has no idea what it is. I'm going to go and find it. Oh, 404 page not found. Brilliant. Have we crashed it already?
Okay. I'm going to open this up. This is pretty cool.
Okay, no, they have not crashed it. Wait, unfortunate.
How many of these do you get?
That would be funny.
All right. Here is my Regal Ravagers sale opening. This is from the promo code Mary Poppins, y'all. It's right there on the screen.
Is that a 7-star?
Yeah, it's a 7-star Nexus for looks like maybe the Saga pool. Gotta find it. Gotta find it. Gotta find it. So make sure you guys do that. All right. We got Matty. It's right under Matty's face. Matty, bless it. Thank you. Thank you. Look at him.
I've blessed it.
There
we
it
go.
is. It has been blessed.
Been blessed. Yes. Oh, I've claimed it as well. And here we go. 7-star Nexus.
Look at that.
They're giving the 7-star to Thronebreakers too.
I mean, I gotta say, if I didn't already have all those champions, that's a hell of a pull and for free. So make sure you use that promo code, put it in the store there, and then use the creator codes for the Illuminati there, Sporting Noob, Encyclopedia, and Nagase. I'm obviously going to awaken Mole Man despite having like 85 7-star skill awakening gems. I know his awakened ability isn't the greatest thing in the world, but pretty pumped up on that. Okay.
I need mine to be blessed as well. Can I have a blessing?
Yeah.
I need this blessing.
I don't know. Everything I want to do, all of my instincts are very sacrilegious. And so I don't think I should do it. So just,
you're talking to the right man. Don't worry.
Best of luck. Yeah, I would not be intending to insult people, but that's what would happen. So I'll just say fly, Eagles, fly. Fly, Eagles, fly. Back-to-back Super Bowl champions.
Eagles.
Let's do it. Yeah, let's go with that.
Yelena.
There it is. There it is. There it is.
Oh, I can bully people.
That just happened. That just happened. All right.
The bullying shall commence. Oh, that's great. Okay.
I hope
you look at the deals anymore. Let me just.
Oh, we're definitely looking at the deals. I am recording this for an opening, so I hope your openings are going even better than mine. Hope you're having fun in this. Make sure you support Matty and the whole Illuminati. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care. Bye bye. All right, let's get back to the stream. Yes, go Birds. You got that right, baby. I got a first time Mole Man with Nexus. Dude, I'm happy. Kabam isn't being nice to us. They're banking on us spending now before we go holiday shopping the world on True Back 5. John, here's the thing. Here's what I'll say is I can't tell you you're wrong. I cannot. And like when I analogize this to going to the carnival, right? And if I have a good time and I'm treated well, I spend way more money than I should on like a stuffed animal because I got sucked into one of the games and I spent like $50 on a 25-cent stuffed animal. But now my kid's happy, and if all the people there are like, hey, thanks for coming by, and like, hope you have a great time. We'll be back in town next month. I'm like, I don't really know if they're great people or bad people, but I know that when I was there, I had a really good time. And so when it comes to me and my advice to my viewers and the way I think about it is like, I'm not going to try to know like the inner workings and all that. That's not my business. That's not what I can know. And so I'm not saying what you're saying is wrong. What I'm saying is I'm just looking at it differently. Let's go and continue the rest of the sale here, though. I want to look at, because as someone who typically whales, right? This is the type of sale where I just would typically buy off the store. This is where it gets really interesting, guys. And if you guys have like free to play or you're trying to spend your units, please do ask us. Matty is a known free to play player, so we'll give that analysis too. But I want to see this because I think this impacts everyone. All right, is what you typically do in sales like this, if you're a large whale, is you just buy out the store because you're not only getting the units, but you're getting all of these guaranteed rank up assets. And this is a lot already. Okay. This is just the Peter Parker's wallet for $5.
800.
You can buy 5 of them.
1,000. 1,120. 1,160. 1,170. 1,185 pounds to buy out the in-game store. It's just over $1,000.
About $1,000. Yeah, that's
feels for everything at the limit,
and that feels in line with it. If you are going to spend, try to access their web store. You get a better deal typically, and there's a trap on there too. We'll go back to that. It's just I think the site was down, so my particular site wouldn't move. So here's one, guys, is like, without even including the catalysts themselves, you buy this out, you're getting 4 new rank 4s today, just off the bat. And here, geez, now that I see what this actually is, you get to choose between a generic awakening gem and 106 stones. And there's a lot of questions still about Ascension. I'm actually going to get a video on that because I have things I'm excited about. And you guys saw in my initial coverage, I was like, there's some things that are a little concerning to me. I slept on it. I want to talk about that more. So that'll come out in the next few days. One thing I'm almost certain on, though, and a lot of people have covered this, like Steele did a great video on this too, is like, I think Sig Stones have become more important than ever because no matter what happens with Ascension, the signature ability of your champions will remain, right? That's one of the things about not having the 8 stars come in, and I don't need to tell you guys that 100 is a lot. So for buying those 4 deals, you're coming away with 4 rank 4s and 2 Sig 200 champions. Okay. And then okay, that's it though. That's if anyone's spending and you're comfortable, and guys, we will not shame people are spending, they're having fun, that's fine. And I want people having fun. I want my viewers having fun. That's the big motivation for me on all of this is if my viewers are having fun, then I'm having fun. Is if you're spending, does that look like great value? I think it does. You know, given what Kabam historically prices things out at, given what we know about the game right now, that looks like great value. And these are even Nexus crystals. So it doesn't guarantee you the class that you want. But you are getting a choice. It's obviously helpful. But then you then take those units. This one right here, before we move on, this one right here, if I was spending and I could hit the markers that I wanted without having to buy it, this Black Panther's treasure is the one that I'm not that excited about, to be honest. I would have to look at what I could do with the units. I would have to look at the store milestone tracker. I know the Titan is exciting right now because of Lizard. Titan's exciting because of the champions, don't get me wrong. But Lizard will be immediately ascendable when Ascension comes into the game in the spring. He's the one Titan champion that will be that way. So I get that. But if I was looking to spend, let's say I had $100 to spend, I would buy that All Father's Odin's Vault and not buy 2 of the Black Panther's treasure. I feel like the value in the Odin is significantly better than the value in the Black Panther. I'm curious if anyone disagrees.
Doing some quick maths. I've made some assumptions, and I'm just going through how I, as a relatively sensible free-to-play player, would initially jump at these, and I'm going to lay it all out, and I'll come back to you in about a minute while I've done that.
That's great. I'm going to answer some questions. I apologize for the sound issues. It seems like it's unique on your side. I'm not blaming you. What I'm saying is like I don't know how to adjust it, and so I do apologize for that. High Evolutionary, Awakened Gentle, or more Sigs on Green J. Green Get. Wow, words are hard.
Green Guy,
Gene, the real mean Gene. So as much as I think Gene benefits greatly from a high Sig, and I think she's the best champion in that group, we're seeing Sig Stones come in more frequently, Dawn. I would take the new champion in High Evolutionary. That's what it sounds like it is. I like Gentle. I think Gentle's a good champion. This is one of those champions I encourage people to explore and to use. But on the tier list, Jean Grey is by far the highest ranked of all of them. So I would choose between the new High Evolutionary because it's a new champion, having that's good, it's guaranteed, or the Sigs on Jean. That's my analysis on that. Tongue twister. I know. Thank you for understanding. I almost said a few.
You just say that we should use Gentle. Sorry, you just said that in front of me.
I gently said it. It was said gently.
I cannot believe you just said that.
I am sorry.
I cannot believe it.
I make a lot of mistakes, Matty. It's only 10:06 in the morning here. It's 10:06, man. It's be kind to me. I'm old. Old man easy. Yes, the audio's
I know, low. But Gentle is unforgivable.
The audio's low. I don't know how to raise it, guys. I do apologize. You got an old man here doing his best. I don't know what else to say. Yeah.
Well, I have something. I have it all laid out.
Yeah, please.
If we want to have it. So, assuming that this is the big assumption, is that okay? I have 12,000 units I've worked out a way of spending 11. Now, I don't know how much everybody has, and I don't know how most free-to-play players distribute their resources. The way I see unit acquisition and then distribution, like across like events across a year, is all in November, December. And so that's the first assumption, is that we haven't just spent willy-nilly on whatever unit bundle, so energy or boosts or anything. And this is quite the assumption. The second assumption is that you're not a massive arena grinder, so you're getting most of these units via osmosis. And I've come to a number which is 15,000, because I spent 5 grand getting Tigra. I get most of my units from just around, and I've got 12 grand. But I'm also a fairly active endgame free-to-play player, and I recognize that's not going to be the case for everybody. So instead of giving us 17k, I think 15 is something. I can tell you what I would get if I spent 12k on this bundle, or sorry, on these deals, and the full list for 12k. In fact, you know what? I'll just give you the I'll give you 15. So and that is 60, and that is times 4, and that is 3. Okay, the full list for 15k is 2.5 tier 7 basic catalysts, 2 tier 4 alpha catalysts, 3 times T6cc and T5cc of your choice, 6 T6 basic and tier 3 alpha, 5, 6.5, 7,250,000 gold, 4 2 to 3 generic gems, 60 7-star signature stones generic, and 300 T6 class ISO of your choice. That is 15,000. How I think a fairly logical free-to-play player gunning for guaranteed rank up resources gets. And you can quote me. There you go.
That sounds like a haul. Was it not? It
does sound like a haul.
This is a jeez. So here's the thing, guys. I'm just gonna say, if you're between this and Banquet, wait as long as you possibly can. See if Kabam releases more information on Banquet. The champions in the box, the champions in the milestones sound amazing. I typically do not encourage people, one, to ever spend if it's not feeding their budget or they're not having fun. But in particular, Banquet is the one that I historically am like, do not spend on this, because it's a blind auction. And this is how they are. This doesn't make Kabam bad. This just means this is how auctions are. It encourages you to keep going, because you're like, well, just one more milestone. Ooh, I want to hit 1 to 10%. And maybe if I just spend $100 more. And so, but what feels different to me is it feels like Kabam's putting more and more rank up assets in milestones, in the crystals. We know they got a lot of crap for the crystals last year. I feel like stuff's trending in a good direction, but that's all prognostication. We don't know. And so I would suggest holding tight. Fortunately for me, I only got 7,000 units, so I have to hold tight, right? On the spending money side, what I always encourage people to do, if they're already spending, is it's not just the value of what you're getting for the Odin, right? You got to remember you're getting those units. And then you pop down here and you get all the stuff that Matty was just talking about. This feels like it's going to be a big day. We're going to, I think we're going to, this is going to impact the battle realm. Thanks, guys. I appreciate y'all letting me know about the sound. I'm getting better. Old people can learn new things. Remember that when you see a senior citizen today, they still have a lot of value. Okay. I think everyone got the check. I think this is a pretty easy skip if you're only using units. Definitely safe for Banquet. Yeah, I mean, that's what got me to kind of answer this thing, is like, I would hold as long as you can. I think this is a lot of guaranteed rake up assets. And I think that's the thing in this game is try to rank up who you're enjoying, but realize like everything could change in just 3 months. It's I don't think Kabam should use We're live service as an excuse but I do think it is true and real, and I think we as players should remember that it is live service. And so their goal is to keep us constantly entertained, not to ensure that what we bought today is still valuable in 4 months. Does that I hope that comes across clearly. It's the first time I've really tried to say it out loud.
Can I just hop in and
Yeah,
can I
please.
play a bit of devil's advocate?
Hold on. Let's answer one
Because
question because
okay,
someone's got a
yeah, go on.
Nexus and they're trying to, and I see this from William. Awakened Night Thrasher or High Evo from the Nexus? I would go with High Evo. I just think he's a much better champion. Do you have thoughts?
Yes,
Yeah.
agreed.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, no, I played Night Thrasher and I've played High Evo. Just you're gonna see a lot of magic coming out of Night Thrasher in certain scenarios,
Yeah.
and you know you see those ads on telly and it says product is not representative of what you will receive because it's like not it's like blah 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 blah. If ever there was a champion that more like aptly fit that description, like what you see in this video is not representative of what he's actually like. It's Night Thrasher. Take High Evo.
I just have to say, Luke actually made me laugh out loud. For those people who could see it, I was genuinely read Luke's comment and I started laughing. All right, Maddie, go for it. But I'm gonna try to bring up the actual web store, and I'm gonna try to find the deal that people who just log in every day should be able to take advantage of while Maddie's talking here.
I want to I want to push back a little bit, devil's advocate.
Yeah,
You're, I mean, you're absolutely right to have some hope for Banquet,
yeah.
and I'm not gonna like crush that and or attempt to crush that. I doubt I could
You can't
attempt to
crush
crush
me.
that entirely.
I want to see you
I can't
try.
crush you.
I
No, I
want to see
can't.
you try. Do it.
All
Go
right,
for it.
fine.
Yeah,
I'll try.
crush.
I'll try. The problems they faced at Banquet last year are damn near impossible to fix. They are trying to please everybody,
He's right.
and that is nearly impossible with the ethos they adopted last year. So last year they employed a wide variety of used car salesman tactics to get people to spend on Banquet, and the live stream last year where everybody was jumping around like a 6-year-old, even though they are fully grown adults on that live stream,
Okay,
was
can I say
the
one
single
thing?
most. Oh yeah.
I know, I'm sorry, I'm interrupting your flow. But part of making sure you can't crush me is these sorts of tactics, is interruption, disruption, that sort
Okay.
of thing.
Yeah, that's fine.
Is Was that the stream that like the main Marvel guy was on? And I don't want to blame.
I can't
I'm
remember.
almost certain
The
it
only one I
was.
remember was
Yeah.
yeah.
Is First of all, I think he's doing a job, and his job is to hype and to appear over caffeinated and appeal to a very certain audience. Okay, that's his job.
Yeah.
Like, like I don't know the guy. He's probably amazing. He's probably a wonderful human. I don't know. I disliked that stream too, and it because it felt over caffeinated. It felt that way. I don't. I really mean this. I truly mean this. No stream with the current community team has felt anywhere near that as when I think his name is Josh, as when Josh was on. So I just want to be clear that while you're right, it may have been about Banquet, I think a lot of it was about what Josh is paid to do by Marvel. And I don't know if you've heard of Marvel, they're a relatively large company. So
A little bit.
yeah. So anyways, please go. I disrupted you pretty well. The crushing is not totally
You
complete.
did.
Yeah.
It's not complete yet.
Yeah.
But I know you've really knocked me off here. I've got to get back on it.
That was the goal,
So
man. You got to
they're
be tough.
trying to please everyone, and it's fundamentally they're trying to cater to a lot of different people, and that means, especially with, oh no, I've completely lost it. Come back to me in a
Okay.
I'm joking.
Okay, sorry.
I had it all, and now I'm gone. And you stopped me from crushing you, which is very good.
Can
but I
you-
will come back.
Can I give you my
stronger.
can I give you my thoughts on Banquet and where I felt like you were kind of going with it, and then you can crush that? Would that be helpful?
No, yeah. If you do that, then it might come back to me,
Yeah.
and I'll be there.
I
I'll
do
take
think
notes in the
I think
meantime.
Maddie's making a really good point, and this is where first of all, if anyone could show me where we get the deal, then they showed it in the video, so I know it's real. Where we will use those horde tokens. I can't find that. Maybe it doesn't unlock until we get 14, or I'm struggling to find it. It has to exist in game. It's not on the web store. is I think what Maddie's saying, and this is where I actually made a joke video last year. And what I successfully did was piss off everyone when I was actually trying to piss off no one and hoping we could all have a good laugh at it. And hey, that's humor. Sometimes you kick yourself in the dick, and I did. And is like when it comes to the banquet event, Kabam can make the crystals really fun, and they're really fun because they have great items in it. The massive problem with that is you truly have people who are going to, you've seen guys, they spend like $100,000 on this. And so if the crystal itself is incredible, then you're going to have a series of people, and it's a meaningful amount. It's not just like one person who's now got like, especially if there's like rank 5 assets in there, which I think there will be, they're gonna have like a full deck of rank 5s. And from a balance, I know a lot of you just chuckled, but from a balance perspective, Kabam does not want that in their war and their battlegrounds where we're competing with each other, right? However, if the Kabam puts the guaranteed rank up assets into the milestones, those of us who aren't spending hundreds of thousands of dollars or even thousands of dollars, we're not going to get them. And also the crystals aren't fun because we're getting a bunch of like tier 5 CC or whatever. It's truly a, I'm curious what they do this year, but I will say that even me myself, the various ideas I come up with on how they could handle that problem sound inherently unfun. Because for me, it's like, well, they put a cap on how many crystals whales can open, and whales are like, that's not fun. And then Kabam loses out on literally millions of dollars. So I don't know what they're going to do. And I do see why Banquet fell flat for the broader community while Wales clearly had a good time. Don't listen to them when they're like, well, we don't like it. You disliked it at $50,000. Did you? Oh, that's how much you disliked it? Like I like the whales. I love them, right? Some of my favorite MCoC YouTubers and players are massive whales. But when they're like, I'm taking my money and going home, but first I'll spend 20K to see if I enjoy it. You're like, I don't know, guys. I don't know. So yeah, I just keep that all in mind. Matty, are you prepared to crush?
I have a question.
Let's go.
The question is, you mentioned that you're cautiously optimistic about Banquet
Yes.
because Kabam are giving us information they haven't previously. The split between Cyber and Banquet is really, in my view, is really crucial to their business model in that we have people like, for example, like before you started this boycott, you would whale,
Mhm.
and if you had, I know that the sort of careful analysis you take part in, if you had uh let's say a more limited budget, which most people do,
Mhm.
and you had that sort of analytical mind, or you were just able to look at a video where someone does have that sort of analysis, and you could see, okay, this is what you get out of one, this is what you get out of another. The probability of someone then spending on both, if one comes up better than the other, is lower, or fundamentally different to the other, is very low. So you've mentioned information
Yeah.
that you're saying is changing this dynamic. I don't see this dynamic changing, and I would contest that the information they have leaked is actually not the important part. So you mentioned the champions.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Is there
Please
any
keep going.
other information other than the champions that you say has been leaked that may give us information on banquet value?
No, because there is I've looked and I couldn't find it. Doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It just means
Okay.
given the time I had, I could not find it. I've seen and I've read in various like Twitter, Discord, places, people I trust actually be like, I think they said the first champion milestone banquet will be 15,000 units spent. But it's always like, I think this, I thought they said that. There's been a lot of information. Like, yeah, that's how I feel. Is I'm like, I'm not going to bank on that. Now, I actually have a graphic from last year's banquet, and that actually lines up. There's the keys. There were keys in the milestone, keys to open the banquet box. There were keys in the milestone track. It actually was better than I thought it was, assuming that graphic is correct. But this is all like we don't knows. What I'm saying is I think the champions look really powerful. I think Kabam is going to somehow try to make the crystals more enjoyable to open. And I'm encouraging people, if they're choosing between the two, to wait until the last possible second to decide, in hopes that Kabam may give us more material information in the next, and you can see it on my screen, 13 days, 23 hours, and 37 minutes. They may not. I have no idea. That's what I'm saying. Because I think you and I agree on a lot of this.
Yeah, but let's get into the champions real quick, and I'm going to inject a little bit of.
Hold on, real quick.
I call this unfair. I mean, because
yeah.
I'm talking about this from a very high level perspective.
Yeah.
And I understand that these champions are very powerful, but let's break them down. Valkyrie, very snazzy, but you want high sig, and she's a 7-star.
Yes.
So let's just cross that out and move on. Nimrod
well, wait,
is
why?
the hunter that has become the hunted, because the mutant class has explicitly moved on from him, rendering him nigh on useless in top tier battlegrounds. Put a line through his name and move on. Kingpin, I have nothing to say.
Why are we moving on? Why? That's what I don't understand. Why did we move off of Valkyrie? Like, why is that not valuable?
It's not about it being not valuable. It's about the guaranteed saying, okay, well, when I think of value in Valkyrie,
okay,
it's like, oh wait, I think of Valkyrie, but you're not getting Valkyrie.
Got it. I understand.
You're getting half of Valkyrie.
I understand.
And as you think of Nimrod, you think, oh, Nimrod, but you're not. You're getting half of Nimrod. And then we have Kingpin, and you know what? I have nothing to say about Kingpin. I think that is a dangerously powerful character. But he's not in the box, so that's you can just choose him. So I think Kingpin is the strongest argument. And then there's Thor, Jane Foster. Very, very flashy. But I don't believe she's it. I don't think she's it. And you're halfway through the box. So, A, for the majority of players, you're probably only going to get 1 or 2. B, no matter how many headlines these champions break, the release of champions as 7-stars, like these OP characters, there's a reason they get released, and it's quite weird. The community is caught between, oh my god, we know how insane this character is, but wait, they're actually releasing them as 7-stars, and we need to consider the possibility that they've been careful, which I know is strange. They might have made a good and balanced decision. But, you release Nimrod and you release Valkyrie because their scope, their realistic scope, is actually less than what you have been led to believe in the past when they were as powerful as they were as 6-stars. So that box is one very insignificant part of Banquet. The second, I'd say, bigger part of Banquet is the crystals. Now, the crystals, unless they massively change the way they approach these things and the way they structure rewards and who gets what, they'd essentially need to do a full 180 in order to produce a product that I think would be good for everyone. Because last year, the big advertising was, well, didn't we, the year before, separate it so only a certain part of the game can act like Valiant or below, or Thronebreaker or below, or Proven, you get different sort of crystals. He said, no, it's the same crystal for everyone, or it was definitely more general. I'm not sure of the specifics, but it was more general. And they said that all of the resources in there could be used on your 7-stars. Now, that was flashy, but it didn't mean anything, because tier 5 class catalyst can be used on your 7-stars. So that's not a statement that goes anywhere. And the byproduct of having crystals that affect everyone is you're trying to please me. You're trying to please you. You're trying to please Usafa. You're trying to please my friend who hasn't touched the game in 3 months. So they're going to need to completely 180 their take on this and their structure to not run into the same problems. Now, they could do that. That's not impossible.
Yeah.
But it would be quite the embarrassment to have a second live stream with the same sort of energy. We say, compared to the live stream last year where we said, hey, we're doing everything's so much better than we did the year before because we've got this new ethos. And then the year after they say, hey, remember last year's live stream where we said this is great? Forget that. That was rubbish.
Yeah.
Look at this. It's like releasing the new iPhone. Like, forget the iPhone 15. Look at this iPhone 16. No, that piece of trash. Look at the iPhone 17, and they come out every 3 seconds. It's like that. So let's take the crystals and put any hype of those on hold. And then we move. And I'm drawing boxes on a piece of paper like I'm explaining this to someone who can see, but you can't. I feel a lot more dramatic to myself, but there we go.
It feels
Then
dramatic.
we move to the milestones.
It does. Yeah.
We move to the milestones. Now, Kabam have mentioned that they have received the complaint that a lot of good rewards have been backlogged in the milestones. For example, July 4th. I think July 4th was a very good example of this, where it's like, well, if I actually want to get any value, I've got to put in like several £100s. Unfortunately, they have mentioned this, and they have said, well, we've heard you, and don't worry, the price for Super Scroll and Yondu are only 10,000 units. Don't worry, guys. We're not looking at 30,000. Looking at 10,000. Now, that's like saying that caviar is cheap, or will be cheaper in the future, because you've lowered the price of cheese. Right? The amount you charged for Human Torch and Dark Phoenix was ridiculous.
Yes.
I hate to break it to you. Yondu and Super Scroll, great characters in their own right, are nowhere near the same thing. And I do not believe that what they said in the live stream about backlogging rewards and using that as an example of how they've changed means anything.
Yeah. Can
So
I
it is.
Go ahead.
You
Sorry.
can go in, but that is the best option for Banquet, is the milestones. And it all relies on a lot of change. A lot of change. That isn't going to... I don't... Well, I mean, they might release snippets, but I don't think they're going to release anything that will be concrete that you can use to derive stuff about these two features. That was a really long rant.
No,
I'm going to need the water.
I think it was good, though. I think it was good. Everyone, make sure you do this. It looks like you have to use a flying champion. I believe this is part of how we're going to do the chase on Reforged Star Lord, who I'm actually very excited about. That whole concept is very exciting to me. Matty, so here's the thing, and I think I am motivated to see a positive change, because you got to go back quite a while. Yeah, I still can't find the Horde event thing. If you guys could point that out to me, I'm not frustrated, but I am like, I just want to see the goddamn deal where I get to choose the things with my 15 tokens. I'm going to collect 15 tokens.
Oh, wait, I could send you a screenshot.
But where is it in the game? I want to see it.
All right, go to the home
Right
page.
now, it's like an like apparition. I believe that's the word. It's like a ghost.
You see the daily super event?
I see nothing. Yeah.
You see the daily super event?
Right there?
Go directly under it. So 16 days, 23 hours, 29 minutes.
Where is this?
Nope.
Oh.
I have some stream delay, but go.
Yeah, there it is.
Go back to the homepage.
Nah,
under the daily super event.
We're there. There
you go. There we go. We've nailed it.
So just to be clear, I want to make sure I understand. Free to play via purely units could get Scroll or Yondu, correct?
Yeah, I could get Yondu out of what I have.
So here's the thing is Chop, that's a great question. We'll get there. Thank you for asking it. Is everything Matty just said is correct, I believe. I wasn't really listening to him. But is as someone, you guys, if you watched my channel, you could see frustration building over like probably 8 months. Probably. I don't know. Time is a weird thing. But I was giving feedback for quite a while. You know, let's go back to like Dark Phoenix. And I was like, I'm just not going to, I'm participating in the sale. I'm whaling. I'm enjoying that. I do not like that these champions are coming in this way without knowledge of their moving to the basics or the Titan. Out of like, I don't know. I don't want to be over dramatic when I say I do things for you guys. I'm not, I don't want to be over dramatic. I'm like, I don't like this. And that was like I believe my first kind of formal sign of protest of what Kabam was doing. Okay. And then of course it followed with Human Torch and on there. But I wasn't just doing that in videos. I was in the CCP being like, I don't like this. I don't think this is good for the game. I don't think you guys need to do this. Now they're the one who knows their priorities and all that stuff. And one of the reasons why I didn't like it, Matty and everyone, is because of the power level of those champions, particularly in competitive modes. Like you could again go back to this, and this isn't like me trying to be like I was right. This is more like, I mean, I was right. I just don't need to say it like that. Is I did a video then being like, do you guys like defenders? And I started showing you like, here's what's coming. And I looked at the attribute system and I was like, here's what they're targeting. And a lot of people are like, you're making a mountain out of a molehill. Well, guess what? 5 months later, everyone's like, where's all these goddamn defenders? Why is this happening? Why didn't you tell us? I was like, I've been trying to tell you. Yeah, exactly. That's how it sounds to me when I read the comments sometimes. Y'all sound like Hop Hop from that great cartoon. I can't think what it was called. What was it called? The Hop Hop? It was a great show. Anyways.
You're asking the wrong man.
Yeah, you could tell. Anyways. And so, and also there was a sale, and I don't remember which one. And even in the course of being extremely frustrated, there were people on the CCP. This is why, like, not gonna lie, guys, part of me wants to go back, is because there were people there who did take genuine, they would ask genuine questions, and it appeared as though they were actually at least responding to genuine advice from us. Doesn't mean they did what we said, but like if I said something that wasn't like all candies and roses and telling them how great they are, they were still like, interesting, thank you for that. And it's their game, they'll do with it or not. And one of my pieces of advice was, hey, I think you have a variety. It feels right now like sales are either tailored towards like free to play or whales. Like when you participate in a sale, it's either, am I going to spend $1,000 and get all this stuff and get like Human Torch? Or am I just going to say, screw it? Maybe I'll use some units, but probably not. And I'm just going to wait till next year. And then you have people growing unit stashes that Kabam openly talks about not being happy about. What if you move some of the juicier, higher priced items, rank up materials, maybe the champion, lower in the milestones? So someone who's like, you know what, I got a bonus and I got $100 I would love to spend on this game I'm enjoying. I don't got $1,000 to spend, but I got 100. That's a lot of money. Give them some value in a sale. And I shit you not, Kabam did it. You guys saw the Silver Samurai sale. Also, one of my biggest criticisms was I don't like these champions making a dent in competitive modes and being really powerful there, and then being sold for $1,000, especially if we don't know they're coming. So for me, and I'm a big fan of Yondu. I'm leaking. I'm self-leaking right now. The general tier list. Thank you for the laugh there. The general tier list.
I could make a dirty joke, but I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I know. I'm old. I got depends on. We're fine. I can self leak all I want. Everything will be clear. The chair's clean. It's fine. Is the is the general tier list is coming out on Saturday. Myself, the Illuminati. Everyone reviewed it. It's a beautiful sheet. You're gonna love it. I tried to lean into that and I just couldn't do it. But Yondu's in the second tier. He's at the bottom of the second tier, but he's in the second tier. For me, they want to sell second tier champions who are great champions, really fun, but they're not going to screw you in battlegrounds if you don't have them. Sell the heck out of that. Sell the hell out of it. I love that. Because people already participate in the sales anyway. These characters are coming to the game. Eventually, the rest of us will get them if we don't participate into it. And so I can totally see why Matty is right about everything he said. A lot of that was how he feels about it. But me, and what I would like to see from the game is like, damn, that's awesome, man. I love it. Thank you. Like, great job, Kabam. Like, all of a sudden, all the frustrations I felt from being in the CCP, I'm like, I'm not saying it's because of me. I'm not doing that, okay? But now I'm like, oh shit, they really were listening. Like, they really were. Or they or like, wow, that's cool. Like, maybe it's worth all the frustration of being in there because they actually are like taking the feedback maybe and they're trying things. And so if I'm going to critique or criticize when they do things I don't like, I think it's doubly important that I applaud and cheer on when they do the things I do like, right? So anyways, there was a lot in there. I actually got a super chat here. Lionel, I apologize it took so long, buddy. I hope you're still here. I really do. Rank 4, Unawakened Nico or Awakened Serpent.
I've already answered in the chat, but I'm
Thank you.
unfortunately I have to point you in the direction of the worst thing to ever exist, but that is the correct choice.
I believe it is the correct choice too. He's just for some, like, there's been quests that are relatively difficult or they require thinking or spreadsheets, and it's could be like, or you could just use Serpent. So
Yeah.
like even outside of like his defensive prowess, and thank you guys for answering. I really appreciate you guys. Um, he's just like he's a cheat code, and I know that Ascension is coming. I think it's understandable and legitimate for people to be concerned that someone like Serpent won't be ascended. God, please don't allow Serpent to be ascended. But it's it's like you, as I said in my video on it, some people are still literally using Hercules, 6-star Hercules, for like strong, hard act content. So, and yes, I do put Serpent in that tier. They're not exactly the same. They are different. But as far as like how powerful they are, shit, man, I think I'll be using my rank 4 Serpent for a very, very long time, even with Ascension and things like that coming. Like, I'll be doing the same with Onslaught. Okay. Like, there's just some champions, they're just built different. Like, they're just different, man. And I think Serpent falls in that category. Who was the other option? The other option was Nico. If your Nico was awakened, I think you'd have more of a difficult choice there. I like Nico in Awakened. I really like her at Sig 1, and I love her at High Sig. So that don't take that as a slight against Nico. I feel bad we took so long to get there. Are there any other hey Vega, can I use your
No, actually,
code? I do not have a code. If I were ever to go back to the CCP, if they were willing to let me back in, I would hope to get a code, and I would hope you would use it. But right now, use those Illuminati codes. We got Nagase, we got Encyclopedia, we got Noob. Like, has anyone could you think of 2 more channels that have been more helpful to more viewers, summoners, over the last like 2 years than Encyclopedia and Noob? You got to throw Simula in there, I think, too. But like, that's like the epitome of it, you know? So I use those codes if you're spending, guys. Matty, I want to turn it back to you, but
something else on something on Serpent, and I'll say something on yeah, the positives as well. So about Serpent, I think Serpent's really part of a new breed of attacking champions that are designed in such a way defensively that there's considerable spillover effects to their offensive kit, and that there are very few characters who I think fit into this description, but Serpent's one of those where he's been designed in such a way to cover all things defensively that you can kind of take him anywhere and everywhere offensively as well. So, even with Ascension running around, that sort of power, especially the way, I mean, Serpent was quite unique, but there are other champions, like I think Mr. Sinister does a similar thing. I think Sentinel, Dark Phoenix, or their Safeguard, I think that they all do very similar things. It's a very exclusive list of champions, but I wouldn't be worried about Serpent offensively. It's a very unique power level that he's at offensively, on top of him being such a defensive powerhouse. But then the positives, and you're absolutely right. We need to consider the. I've just said a lot of bad things,
no, I think.
but
Well, let's be
the
clear.
stellar. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not trying to block your flow here. I just want you to
No,
feel comfortable. No, I want you to feel comfortable doing this. Is even if I went back to the CCP, even if I got a code, I'm not going to stop saying critical things.
Mm.
This is not a channel, and I actually don't think Matty's is either. He's younger and I think digs into things a little differently than I am. I think it's appropriate. I think it's good. I think it's funny. Is this channel is not? I'm not trying to get you to join a political party. This isn't like you support me at all costs. Everyone else sucks. This is like, look, I'm going to tell you what I think. Sometimes I think things are good. Sometimes I think things are bad. If that's not you, if you just want someone who's always cheerleading or always demeaning, that's not me. I don't think that's Matty, actually. If you watch his channel, he says a lot of really positive things as well, too. So Matty, please don't feel like, oh, Vega's being positive. He's had some nice interactions. He's happy about things. And so you can't be critical. Please, like, just say what genuinely you mean. Like, just I think you already knew that, but I felt like I needed to say it.
I mean, look, I've said things that are, I think, I say if things are correct or not. I mean, that's more subjective, but I've said things that are good, and I've said things that are less accurate. I
Yeah.
think to do with Cabal, and then never. I don't think I've ever completely missed the mark on anything. but you know, sometimes we, you know, we present a view, and that's fine. And I'm not asking. I read that I've accumulated a subscriber base who probably almost could be considered a political party, but it's not about that. So I'm gonna go and say a good thing now, which is uh which is this. Um the Deathless event versus the Idol event versus the Stellar Forged event. And I saw that at what's it called? Summoners Fest. And I had the biggest smile on my face. I wasn't at Summoners Fest, but I saw it on the live stream. I had the
Yeah.
biggest smile on my face because you know, the Idol event was so clearly a development of that Deathless event, but just with a little bit more spending. It's like, okay, well, people like this. Could we get them to drop 10 quid or 15 quid on this? And the answer was no. And the answer was no. It's like, well, there are certain things that you monetize, and there are certain things that are just really good if they're left unmonetized. There are certain things that are just not worth it, and they've gone back and made a big deal at Banquet. They made it very clear that you don't need to spend any money on this. This is just going to come around and be a thing that you do. As I can see, I'm just watching the stream now. I can see you're up there against that Venom the Duck with. I used Carolina just now. It was really easy.
I'm trying to
Uh,
actually lower the sound of the game. I think I've got it. I apologize because you're making a good point and you're being serious, and we're hearing at the same time, and hey, no, I want to
I've
hear that.
muted you.
Yeah,
I've
good.
muted the stream.
Yeah, it's
But
like, why is Vega
yeah,
killing a cat? That's not good. People shouldn't do that. You
no,
know,
that's no
like,
good.
yeah,
No
all
good.
right.
But I saw that, and I'm just excited that okay, we have a line of events where everybody goes in, enjoys playing the game, and gets something out of it. And this sort of event should really be that, and not spend on. Okay, well, you have to get money to pay money to enjoy this and be part of this. It's a good, you know, they made that mistake, and that mistake is not brilliant, but it's a good U-turn. It's a step back in the right direction. Um, I have no bad things to say about Stellar Forge. I have no bad things to say about that event at all. So that's positive. As for, I mean, I did make my, you know, saying that caviar will be cheaper because you lowered the price of cheese, you know, analogy. We'll see how that pans out. Maybe they sell. I mean, if they sell 7-star Kate, I've already said one of my big red flags. I just put the game down if you do that because that's one of my favorite characters, and I will never want to see her behind a paywall. But let's say that they do sell someone in like another character in like the Kate level, uh, and it's, you know, for money. Let's see if it's below 30,000 units or however many it was. I wouldn't be surprised if it is back at that level, but you know, we'll find out. We'll find out. Now, I'm actually gonna go back and I'm gonna do one more sweep through. I'm aware we've got a little bit off track, so I am gonna have a little look at the bundles again because I hear like someone say in the chat now these offers are bad. It just reminded me that we're here to talk about offers.
Yeah, yeah. Look, well, and that's what I wanted you to make your point. I think it's a great point, and but I do want to turn it over to like let's talk with it. Like Chop's been trying to ask a question for like the last 30 minutes, and I apologize. I did want to get to it, so it's kind of let's go ahead and answer questions. People are here for that. Thank you for the incredibly uncommon MC New Encyclopedia, Stanley, Matty, and you, Vega, are my thank you. That's really cool of you to say. I appreciate that. Chop. So thoughts on Britain being in a crystal? So like. I've been asking for that. Like that's what that's a version of what I've been asking for. Is like I am so okay with Wales getting an advantage. I'm so okay with Wales getting somewhere faster. I'm okay with I love the double tracks. Like it's still expensive, dude. $25 can buy you a lot of stuff around the world. Okay, so I'm never gonna be like it's cheap. No, that ain't happening here. It's not. Okay, but I do love that there's a lower priced way to get good champions in MCoC, like we're seeing with Bravura Pravarker. Like Jesus, that sorry, I didn't mean that. I know that's offensive to a lot of people, and I as someone who was very religious at a point in time in my life, I try to avoid that. So I wanna apologize for that. Bravura Pravarker double track if I end my boycott and start spending before that double track is over, that will be literally the first thing I purchase. He's insanely powerful. He looks incredibly fun, and we know he'll be ascendable. So if you got $25 or Matty's from Quid to spend, I think that's actually where you should put it. Never mind the sale. No, like no. Because rank fours will eventually go out of style. Rank fives will eventually be passed up. But Pavita Pravarkar is like one of the few champions in the game that we know is going to be ascendable. I think that's the guaranteed asset. Actually, wow, thanks for bringing this up, guys. And so Captain Britain being available in a crystal that, like you just saw, I got to open one for free too. She's got to eventually come to the basic or the Titan. In my opinion, she'll probably come to the basic because of the way they run the Titan and stuff. I think that's what'll happen. But eventually she's got to come, in my opinion. And so and she's good. The thing with her was she's obviously defensively built. She's the type of defender I don't like, in that she's like, either you bring the specific counter or you die. She's like the if it was a card game, she's like the reverse Uno. The other person thinks they've won, but you've been holding on to that one card and you got it and you throw it down. And they're like, no, I've lost. Like, I just think that's the crappiest way to lose in battlegrounds. So I don't enjoy that. But that being said, especially with the SP3 change in battlegrounds, I was like, actually, I remember when I tested her that, like, once you get to that special 3, she does damage and lots of it. She's got good utility. I think it was Kaitu, really cool channel, actually. If you're not familiar with them, I know their channel is not the biggest one in MCoC. I think put out a video not that long ago on her. Matty, did you cover her, Captain Britain?
I did, and I was exceptionally angry,
Yeah,
because she does deal damage, kinda, and I believe it was described as I watched DLL's. I watched his deep dive with context because I couldn't sleep and it was an hour long, so I put it on. And he described her damage as serviceable in long form, and that was about as generous as he felt he could be.
Hey,
Now there is something to be said about class advantage there, but even then, to release, I'm going to rant about Captain Britain.
do it.
To release a buff out of nowhere. So remember, no one is screaming for a Captain Britain buff. We've had Doctor Strange buff calls. We have had Captain America buff calls, like Ghost Rider. So many characters. Like we had the Women of Power vote. That still hasn't happened. And out of nowhere, Captain Britain. She is sold behind a paywall, and as you just said, she's like the Uno reverse, like, oh, okay, now you're dead.
Yeah.
Defender, and she is literally being described as worse than Dark Phoenix, and I don't blame people. But in the annoyance factor, maybe not objectively, but in the annoyance factor, to have that is so tremendously unnecessary. And then, on top of that, to be only able to describe a damage output as serviceable, you realize that, okay, the sole purpose of this character is not to tackle any meta defenders, not to change anybody's account offensively. If you like Betsy, knock yourself out. I'm not going to stop you. But this character was released to make money by pissing people off, as you said, in that way. I cannot get behind that character. I just cannot.
So
and then the maker and
go ahead. Sorry.
Carry on before I explode.
No, okay.
Carry on before I explode.
No, yeah, I don't want you to. I like you too much, and I value your time on the stream. So you exploding
bust on stream.
Yeah, that would mean like no more Matty. Ain't no one wanting that. Ain't no one wanting. Everyone wants Matty, likes Matty, loves Matty. We want Matty around here. You mentioned DLL, incredibly smart channel, right? People can get a lot of information about the game, champion design, where champions are intended to work, and those sorts of things. Matty, if you can hear me, I think your Wi-Fi is struggling there a bit. I'm sure it'll come back. One of the things I think that's really important to remember is that's like DLL the YouTuber. You know what I mean? Like, and he's giving advice on that sort of thing, and you should take it seriously. But there's also like the person who actually built the champion. There's the balance people who did the balance on them. They really can't go out and say a variety of things. So like, I think it's just like, if you're baking a cake, that's a really nice ingredient to have for the cake, but there's other ingredients to include in those sorts of things. Especially because, like, I'll be honest, I tested her and I was like, okay, once you get to that special 3, this girl cooks. I'm not kidding. Like, she does a significant damage when you get to that special 3. I just know that's not often what people are looking for in battlegrounds. Here's what I say, and oh, wait, let's make sure there's no more questions here. Which unit duels are the best? Is there rating? Shoot, I'm in the middle of this fight, which is going tremendously well. Did you have
I'll do the rating.
Yeah.
You do the Carol. You do the Captain Britain. I'll do
Okay.
this.
Okay. So
I'll rank them. Do
Maddie's
you
good.
want a full list or just the ones from level 1?
You know what? I think people probably want a lot of them. If you don't mind, man, that'd be awesome. I'd appreciate it.
Yeah.
Is so
No,
Maddie's
I got you. You do the Captain Britain takedown.
Maddie's gonna work on that. We appreciate it. Yeah, we want Maddie. Get that hashtag going, man. Let's get that trending. Thank you, T995. You're my favorite 995. SB1 counter makes the fight faster. I know, Luke, I'm playing the long game, man. I just kidding. Thank you for the advice. As you could tell, at some point in the fight, I was like, oh yeah, wait, I don't want to be baiting the SB2. What am I doing? Okay. So here's what I was saying about that is Felly, so Maddie's working on a bit of a tier list to go over all the unit offers for everyone right now. So thanks for asking. Thanks for being here. Is we're speculating. We're going full tinfoil hat. We're like fully got the chalkboard out. I'm connecting dots. Okay. Here's what I truly think happened. Here's what I truly think happened. Is Kabam tried to make the game more like a card game, particularly in battlegrounds. Okay. They felt like if we sell like these, basically the magic box, magic lock concept. I really like that term from Volatility's channel. She has a phenomenal video. If we really quote unquote lean into that, your competitive players and your high-end players are going to want to spend money on them. And that's true, but for me, it's like a lot of things in this game. And you guys have heard me use these phrases often. Whereas like someone spending because they're having fun, yes, Kabam is incentivizing it with new champions, new struggles, new challenges, a not so magic box and a not so magic key. But when you go too far into it, it's like everything else in life, almost leaning too far into anything. You can eat strawberries all day because fruit is good for you. But if you do that, you're going to get sick, right? Is they went too far into it and they did too many. I tried to warn them. I did videos about, hey, how you like some defenders with your defenders. And eventually the community was like, and you saw it from high tier battlegrounds players, you see it in all kinds of YouTube videos from so many channels. It was like, we are no longer liking this. And I personally think it's because people were starting to feel coerced. It was starting to blur that line from I'm having fun, I'll spend on this, to I need to now buy. I need to now buy Zola. I need to now buy Betsy Braddock. And this is why I thought Nico was such a mistake from Kabam, was they sold Dark Phoenix. I didn't like the way they went about that, and then literally undermined her the next month. Some people cheered that on, which I totally get. But what I think it did is it's kind of like the concept of when you're watching a movie, and I can't think of the term here, but you have to like essentially tell your brain to turn off in some ways, because you're not, as soon as you start being like, wait a minute, they couldn't really bring dinosaurs back from the dead. As soon as you do that and you're watching Jurassic Park, you're out. But if you turn, it's the willing suspension of disbelief. And as soon as Kabam went too far into the Magic Defender, Magic Key, I think they pierced that veil for a lot of us. And now we're angry. And I think Kabam realized that. They listened, they probably saw their metrics go down, they saw all the videos, they saw various things. I am allowed to talk about what I did. They saw me in the CCP, right? And I think they were working on what are we going to do with 7 stars and 8 stars. They realized 8 stars was a bad idea for player psyche. I think it would have been a really bad idea. And I think I have no proof for this at all. But the removal of the rebalance program, as far as rebalancing champions on a set schedule, is not surprising at all to me. I think they chose a weird way to go about doing it, but I think it actually fits, because I think what they're doing with Ascension and what Balance and the whole game team, right, is now going to be doing is using Ascension to power level the champions. So I think we're still going to see defenders. I think we'll still see magic box defenders. I've been playing this game forever. Guys, there was a time where you fought Iceman. We had like one champion who was immune to cold snap. I don't even remember who it was. I just remember it being like, okay, just try to live through the
Sabretooth.
thank you. Who, not great for Iceman. But like
Mm.
it was like, just don't die to that initial cold snap, and then you might be able to make it through the rest of the fight. There was a node in Alliance War that had thorns, and this is before we had a champions who could turn thorns off. So it was like, you're just going to lose a lot of your health. Just try to not make any mistakes. So that's always existed, and I think always will exist. I think they just went way too far into it for what this game is good at, for what the mass majority of players enjoy. And I think that they're going to use Ascension to do their best to balance the game. And I do quotes because not to make fun of it, but to show I don't think it fits the definition that like if you looked up balance in the dictionary, I don't think that's the definition they're using. What they're using is like the power level of the champions relative to each other that they desire to be in game. Not that all champions are balanced. And so I think they're going to use the rebalance team and of course the designers and the encounter designers and all of that to say like, okay, now it's time to let this champion ascend. Okay, now let this champion. Let's keep Serpent down a little bit. We're letting Nico go and just destroy the world. Cool, 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 cool. We've introduced a couple new champions. And so I think, and this is why I'm at the moment cautiously optimistic about Ascension, is I think it's them actually having more control over the balancing of the game than the rebalance program as constituted did, which required buffs and nerfs. This is more like, okay, Mr. Knight, let's use as an example. Maybe not the most powerful champion in the game, pretty good. If we allow him to get ascended 2 to 3 levels, now he's cooking. Now he's feeling good, as opposed to having to go and like actually buff him, right? And then actual buffs, again, this isn't like I don't think I'm talking out of my ass here. Is I think buffs is going to be in the sales. Like they're going to continue buffing champions. Sometimes they'll probably just buff them just for fun or kicks and giggles, and we'll get to use them, and that's great. But put them into sales. Yondu's really good. Super Scrolls, he's good. Okay, he's easier to use. He's better to use. And so when I look at that whole package, and I'm obviously interpreting it positively, I get very excited about it. Now they're going to have to pull the dials and the levers and all that stuff, and sometimes they're going to make mistakes for sure. But I think as time goes on, they're probably going to start hitting it right, and they'll be able to more easily react to how things actually land. That's my hope. That's my thing. Thanks for coming down, speculating lane with me. I probably could have come up with a better name. It's not speculating lane. What should it be? What should it be? It should be something. Speculating
Speculating
station.
Street.
Street. God, it was right there.
There we go. There
And
we go. I do have some thoughts.
I want to turn it over to Matty. Hold on,
I
real
have some
quick. I
thoughts.
actually got another really generous donation. Thank you, Team 995. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah, especially with 11 ranks.
Yeah.
With 11 ranks, that I'm probably going to go a little bit harder. Obviously, you could say that all right, we're shutting down rebalance, and this does fit into something we're doing down the line because that can potentially act as rebalance. You can give it that credit. I am hesitant to give it that credit because for me, as someone who was particularly upset with the magic box, magic keys, it is more pointed, I think, towards that Dark Phoenix hurdle. And it wasn't really a hurdle, it was a brick wall, and they were running towards it at speed. And they had to find a way out, and they took their ball and went home. So, I'm less tempted to give them that.
They
But
did.
I am gonna give.
They
Mhm.
did feel like pouting. The way it implemented, it did feel like pouting. I want to be abundantly clear on that. So please,
Yeah.
I got to stop
Uh,
interrupting you. I'm sorry.
that's fine. VAS. Sorry, I'm coding this. Um, so, but I am gonna give credit to the Ascension because you have 11 ranks. Now, that could say two things. The first thing it could say is they are tremendously confident in the longevity of this game. Because if you have like 11 ranks of Ascension, you treat every single one of them as a new level of power. And given the screenshots, I think it said like what 12% attack and health for one rank.
Yeah,
I think was on the Call Obsidian screenshot.
yeah,
That is a new level of power.
it is.
And if you look at the cadence that are releasing it like so on and so forth, we've had like rank twos and then And then we had rank 3s come out the next year, and then a rank 4s are a year after. And now we're here, and everybody was kind of expecting rank 5s, but now we have this Ascension coming into the mix. That's 11 years of longevity planned. If they take it like that, that's 11 years more of this game they have quote unquote planned. The second thing it could mean is that it allows for very fine tuned balancing. So, someone like Mr. Knight, I took him, I had a new champion gameplay video on him just after I took Hitmonkey to rank 4. And it was like, what is this? Why is Mr. Knight when we already have this? He's just more complicated, he does the same thing, and he does it worse. But to say I want Mr. Knight to be Ascension level 7, right? And I can very finely tune that with someone like Hitmonkey. Say, all right, well, actually want Hitmonkey to be Ascension level, and we can kind of like pretend we're making a decision, but like 4 or Ascension level 5. And because you have 11 ranks instead of just like the 6 stars where we had, all right, let's say we could choose who could be ascendable for 6 stars. And obviously everyone was, but unless there's just like one rank and that's it. If you have 11, you can get a very consistent, not very, what's the word? Specific and fine-tuned level of balance throughout the game. So Serpent doesn't even make it onto the board. You're not allowed. Someone like Venom the Duck could go all the way to 11. Or someone like Mr. Knight could go up to 8 or 9. Someone like Hitmonkey could go to 4. And then by the end of the whole process, it's never going to be balanced. That's not the point of this game. But it's closer to balance than it ever has been. And it opens up a lot of avenues for future defenders. You said, all right, well, Elena Below 2.0 comes out, but she's only limited to Ascension level 4. All right, I'll buy it.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So there is scope, but I'm glad we can agree on the pouting with the rebalance. Anyway, I'm very close to finishing this, and yes, I am wearing a Snuggie.
Thank you. Almost spit out my water when you said, "Why is Mr. Knight?" It got me. It hit me. It hit me. I have 47,000 units. Do I spend all on Banquet and spend some in Cyber? This is the thing, Victor. So I'm gonna continue. Nothing we've seen today has changed my initial thinking going in. I'm going to recommend waiting as long as you possibly can. This sale is going to be up for almost 14 full more days. Kabam has been giving us info on Banquet. Now, we've spent a lot of time already covering, is it the info we actually want? Is it more exciting? Whatever. We did that for like an hour and a half. I would just wait. There feels like pretty good guaranteed assets in this. Matty's actually working on a bit of a tier list or a ranking from the various deals, and we'll go back and cover them from the units perspective. I think from spending, I think if you're already spending, I'm just going to quit out this fight because I want to show you guys the actual stuff we're talking about. I can go do that later. It's a significant sum of money. $100 is a significant sum of money. I felt like if you're spending, the Odin looked like a great deal, which usually is. And I think you're much better off buying the Odin than the Black Panther's treasure. Mainly because, it's only 10 6 stones of the Black Panther's treasure. I understand the Titans are exciting. I understand you get the 4 of the Horde things. Like if I had $50, I think I don't know if I don't think I'm buying this. If $50 was my limit, I'm probably not buying that. It's good. I'm not saying it's like bad value. You're getting some units, but I'd rather, historically, I think they've sold a key to Banquet for about $50, and you get some stuff with it. And on this one, if I had $50, I think I would say like I want to see what's behind door number 2. Door number 2 being Banquet, because I don't think this is gonna like. I feel badly for it, but like, you do this and you open it and you might get Spider-Man Supreme, who's fine. He's fine. But I mean, unless you just love that champion, that they're not gonna like materially improve your account. Like I would personally prefer or suggest do this $30 deal if that's what you really wanted to do. And it'll like it fits within your budget and that sort of thing. So yeah. All right, Matty, you look like you might be done. Is that true?
I am done. I have 4 tiers.
Okay.
Now, bear in mind, we're analyzing the Valiant bundles, so these are not the bundles for Thronebreaker or Paragon or whatever. And I've organized 4 tiers, tier 1 through tier bin. And let's kick it off with tier bin, I think. Yeah, Valiant, Superior, Summoner Bundle 3. I've coded these as VSSB3 or Time. There is also VGS and VASB, but for advanced and greater and whatever. But I put this one at tier bin because the stat casts, there are an awful lot of stat casts. There are so many, like even within like one character. Like we have Hulkling. Like Hulkling has like multiple different like primary and secondary benefits attached to him. And if you want to target anyone, not going to happen. You only get one of these crystals. And yes, it does provide pretty significant benefit. And there is a tier 1 to 2. But again, the signature stones are for 6 stars. And the 6 stars are like, 1 million gold is barely going to cover your rank up. So I'm putting this in tier in, especially given to unlock it, you already need to have spent 10,000 units. So this to me feels like unless you really love spending on relics, you really love your relics, and that's fine. It's going in tier bin. Then there's VASB, so the SB2, which is the other relic bundle. I'm very hesitant to give relic bundles much weight, and I don't know if this is biased for me. There is tier 4 basic alloy in here. There's a tier 3 class alloy crystal. There's only one of those, so there's a 1 in 6 of getting what you want, and the rest of these you can get really, really easily through your Radiance and through your Battlegrounds glory stores, blah, 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 blah. Again, very limited gold. And look, the relics are always a little bit complicated. It's like a small part of a champion, and that's going to be in tier bin. Then I have tier 3, so we moved up a tier. I have the Valiant Daily Bundle. Buying this bundle for the Royal Horde tokens, if you know your budget is around 500 units or only a little bit more than that, just don't. Because I looked at the milestones, everyone's going to get 14 for free. There isn't a lot more that's like worth it to a Valiant player, anywhere near worth a Valiant player, until you get like 30, 40. That's when the milestones start ramping up. So this is that. Buying it for that, not going to happen. Valiant class Nexus Crystal. Remember, in the Valiant crystals, you can still get 5 stars. So 1, where the odds are you're going to get like a 5-star Mystic. No. 1,500 Titan Crystal Shards. Meh. 5 Signature Stones Generics. That'll be the value in this bundle, but no. Then there's the Valiant, and if you think that all this is bad, just push back on me and we'll talk about it. But
no, everything's made a ton of sense.
Right, I've got VGSB4, so we have the Valiant Greater Summoner Bundle 4 here, and this is the Awakening bundle. And the thing that really put me off it was again the relics, not actually anything to do with relics specifically, but because they were 6 stars. So if these were targeted at a 7-star StatCast, I would absolutely have moved this into tier 2. 7-star Awakening Gem Crystal and the 50 generic 6 stones. No notes from me, brilliant, top marks. But really, 6 stars, not going to be good enough for me. Especially for 3,500 units, and you already need... Actually, it's part of that 3,000 bit, but VSSB1. Now, this has a generic Awakening Gem, but no SIGs. And it is part of those bundles where you need to already spend 10 grand. I would really like to have seen some SIGs here if I'm spending 16 grand to get this. Then I have the Nexus Titan Crystal. Nexus Titans, again, like we've solved the issue of SIG 200s, but that was an issue that concerned not very many players. I have a pretty developed roster, free-to-play player. I have several 7 stars of SIG 200. I'll give you a clue. None of them are in the Titan. I know Usafa made his video. Usafa is Usafa. I am not Usafa. None of us are Usafa. And we have the 7-star 2024 selector. Now, this is great. This is great. Bear in mind, it's one character. And I mean, look, if you're really looking for one character to justify this, I would say there are two characters to justify this, and this is being really harsh. I'm going to be harsh, and that is Serpent and Count Nefaria.
Yeah.
Rest of them, great. If you really want them, great. Even like Enchantress and Bullseye, like rank 4 or bust for those characters, and some metas just don't run them in top tier BGs. So I'm looking at tier 3 for this bundle. And then I have VG SB2. So Valiant Greatest
hold on.
Bundle
Can I add?
2.
I want to add on something to that one. I want to hear. Let's hear the rest of Matty's analysis. It's been phenomenal so far. The only thing I'm going to add on to this one is, if you really wanted, I think Serpent. Honestly, Serpent's the one. I think Nefaria is amazing too.
Serpent.
Yeah, he can make some tough fights just so easy. And I'm not even talking about like questing and stuff. I'm not talking about like battlegrounds or whatever.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
I think this
Long
is
form, medium form, short form.
Yeah, like, and kind of just stuff Matty said earlier. And again, I'm leaking the tier list that's coming out tomorrow. You know, in the banquet box so far, we've got Thor Jane Foster. She's good. Nimrod. Who else do we know in the box, in the actual box? There's one other champion, I think. Who was it that didn't come through?
Foster, Nimrod, Valk.
And Valkyrie. So those are very, very good champions. They're very good. I would be excited about them. Serpent's a different kind of cat, man. There's a reason why he's in the tier above all, and those champions are going to be more in the second tier. So I'm not saying go out and get this. I'm saying if you were on your way, let's hear Matty's advice on the rest of this tier. This one, though, I think in a specific scenario may sound better than the default advice. And that's one of the hard things about giving default advice, is you don't know everyone's specific scenario. All right. Thanks, Matty. Let's go ahead and move on to the...
All right. We've got VGSB2, so Valiant Greatest Summoner Bundle 2. And this one has a rank 4 gem. It has a rank 4 gem Crystal. Now, that's fine. That's not what I'm complaining about. It's about what's attached to it. The Valiant Wave 2 stat cast, again, you can get 5 stars out of that. And 2 million gold. I mean, the gold, but we're going to leave the gold aside. I don't think that's worth talking about. The rank 4 gem is interesting. However, there are a lot more bundles that can give you resources towards a rank 4. They won't give you the gem, but you can contribute it. You can add it all to what's already in your account and other resources. And I just think that, you know, a rank 4 level is what I like to call a generic level. We haven't seen a class-specific level since 7-star rank 2, but it's where the top catalyst is a generic one. So it's either basic or an alpha. And I would rather build my own, you know, for the value, especially when we consider everything else is in there. That's why I put it in tier 2.5. I actually, I couldn't decide.
Yeah.
I put it tier 2.5 because the 3 to 4 gem needs to move it up. But because of the value of everything else, what we're going to go through in tier 1 specifically, I moved into tier 2.5.
Okay.
Now we have tier 2. I only have one in tier 2. That's Valiant VSB3, and that's Valiant Advanced Summoner Bundle 3. And I am completely wrong here. Looking at this again, I don't know why I did. I'm going to move that down into tier 3.
Yeah.
Tier VASB3. So remember, I think what clouded my judgment, I think we were talking about Captain Britain.
Yep.
And you reminded me she was in there as a 7-star.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there is a chance that you, without having to pay anything, can get yourself a 7-star Captain Britain out of that. I cannot even begin to describe how helpful that will be for Battlegrounds.
Yeah.
And for your alliance, potentially in Alliance War. And I'm going to reluctantly say, for the sake of my argument now, I'm going to say that she can do a thing or two on attack. And it's a Nexus, but remember, we got that for free seconds ago. And the Founders War, yes, they are 7 stars. But only 30 compared to, we're going to see a lot more in other bundles. I believe we are anyway, unless I'm completely misremembering. Am I misremembering? No, I am not.
No, and kind of
tier 3.
This is the type of bundle I typically recommend not getting. because it is exciting. And I think it's good that Matty is saying the positives of it too. I think that's appropriate and what we're about here. You could get Captain Britain, and that's if you're interested in war or battlegrounds. You could get Spider Woman. You know, there's other good champions in there, but you could get Night Thrasher, Howard the Duck, or Iron Man Infamous, who are all good champions, but they're not who you're hoping for. And so it's a nexus, which
No.
is helpful, but it's not. You're not like getting good odds, you know. So just keep that in mind. Thanks, man.
Okay, actually, now I've moved that to tier 3. I actually have nothing in tier 2. So I'm going to pretend that we had tier 3, 1, 2, and 3 from the beginning.
Okay.
So tier 2 didn't exist. It never happened. You're misremembering. So we have tier 1. So tier 1, these are the ones that I would go for. And I haven't made up my mind yet. I am very tempted to go ahead and do this. However, let's just keep let's not get ahead of ourselves. We have Valiant GSB 3. So Greater Superior Bundle 3, which the
Yeah.
that is I put it in the bottom tier. What have I done? Oh no, very similar, but no, here we go. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah. No, I'm not going crazy. It's Valiant SSB3. Yeah, okay. My own system is confusing me. But here we go. Now this, look, it's only available after 3,000 units. You get 2/3 of the way to a rank 4. Remember what I talked about with rank 4s being a customizable rank up? So, that is the best item. The most powerful rank up material for a rank up, rank 4. And a tier 3 generic. And the ISO and gold. So not just the gold we've seen a lot before, but also ISO to help facilitate this rank up. Unlocked at only 3 grand. There's 2 generic aspects of the rank up. You have the 2 to 3, but also the most powerful catalyst in that next rank up. A lot of people are already going to have a tier 7 basic lying around. If you don't, okay, but you're 2/3 of the way there. I think this bundle is really, really great. Of the bundles that are unlocked when you have spent 3,000, I believe this is definitely the one to go for, especially over Valiant Greatest Summoner Bundle 2. So over the one that gave you Valiant stat cast crystals and the one that gave you a rank 4 crystal. Guaranteed aspect of this. On top of the ISO it gives on top of the gold. It's in tier 1 for me. And then we have Valiant Advanced Summoner Bundle 4, so VASB 4. And this, again, look, we're looking at this guarantee value with the ISO on top of the gold.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Nice.
Which one did you move to? I was reading chat. Which one did you move to?
Valiant Advanced Summoner Bundle 4.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Again, we have this lots of guaranteed stuff in here. We have those signature stones. Most of all the bundles we're going to look at. But, again, 2 to 3 generic stuff. And then everything you need to facilitate the rank ups of the gold. And then the ISO. Big improvement on the other bundles here. And then the final one, and this is, I put this in tier 1. Requires a lot of spending to get, but I believe it is very, very powerful. It's the 3 to 4 generic. And then we have this super selector. And the reason I've included, I've given more value to this sort of selector over the other selector that we saw, is because of the exclusivity of it. So you have 7-star 2023 champion selectors instead of 2024. Now, look, you can make an argument for either year. I mean, there are no champions in here that really speak to me as essential apart from Onslaught. There is an argument to be made for Photon and Kushala. And then, obviously, I'm always going to love myself a Kindred. But lots of good stuff in there, but that's not it. It's the exclusivity of the Glorious Guardians and the other options of selectors. A lot more champions you can select from if there's someone you're going for with the base pool. But look, a lot of us only got one shot at the Glorious Guardians. I got Sentinel. I'm very lucky. I really wanted Deadpool X-Force. I also really wanted Black Panther. I also really wanted Medusa. I've seen lots of great things from Purgatory. Sentry's still ramping up, but he's there as well. There's a lot. It's taken him a year. He's getting there now. Or you could just skip all of that and take in a 7-star Nexus. I mean, but it's better than nothing. It's the 3 to 4 generic. I would have liked to see some ISO there, but I put it in tier 1 for higher spenders. Yeah.
And I think the one thing I just want to again point this out is I think all of these champions are
Oh.
either already in the base crystal pool now or will be coming to it in December. So that's one of those, like, if you do this, just make your peace with the idea that you may pull them in December. The thing is, your chances of pulling them are very, very low. So I don't think this is a bad idea. And then this came with the guaranteed 3-4. So Matty, your analysis I think was like literally
I actually
perfect.
missed one.
Oh well,
I missed one.
Hey,
I missed one, and actually, I'm going to reinvent tier 2 very quickly.
I love
So
it.
again, you're misremembering. It was always there.
Always.
It was never erased. It was always there. And you're wrong. And I'm putting this in tier 2 because of the Radiant Store. Radiant Store is insanely powerful, and a lot of these you can get for very, very cheap, especially compared to 2,000 units. Now, you can get this bundle immediately. It has no prerequisite in terms of unit spending, but it's good value. I think lots of catalysts, and that's always good. Goes towards what I was saying, like we had that 3 to 4 generic, not generic, 3 to 4 gem crystal, and so that you can kind of build your own. This is the sort of bundle that I'm talking about that you can build your own. It gives you a lot of catalysts on the way there, so without having to spend more for that, crystal, you can. I could get a rank 4 right now by hitting this button and just take it.
Which one
But
was this?
again,
This was
the Radiant Store is good.
this was Valiant
Yeah.
Advanced Summoner Bundle 1.
Bundle 1.
Okay.
So I'm putting it in tier 2 because it's 2,000 units, and you can get this stuff for cheap on Radiance. But it is a good bundle.
Yeah.
It is a good bundle.
And then you could save your radiance for units or something like that, right?
Yeah, like I've bought 750 units out of Radiance twice now from both the resets, just because I'd maxed everything else out. Not because I think you should get units from Radiance, but this close to Banquet, or Cyber, just grab them. It's nice.
Here's and then here's the other thing that I think is important to point out is this. You also make your way through here. I don't think Yondu nor Scroll are like must-haves. This isn't like, again, the Serpents or whatever. We've talked about this like kind of different tier of champion. So I think this is more of a really nice little like parting gift. Hey, you showed up to the party, you get this too. I would not.
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, well, I think it's probably good that you did, because I don't think people should spend their units on no, I'm serious. Like when we're giving out, it's hard to give out default advice. As someone who's tried to do it for almost 6 years now, in a game where people are playing this so differently, it's really hard to do that. And so I think it's almost good. We don't want to be like, and you get this too. This is more like, this is also here. You would get it. I think Yondu is the way to go, if you're interested in that. So, so there's that, and then this is that Royal Horde thing, which eventually gets to. I mean, that's 110. That's a lot of them. A 7-4.
That comes when you max out the spending bundles.
And it's locked to Yondu or Scroll. So if you're really going into it, you're gonna see some cool stuff out of rank 4 Yondu. You're probably gonna see some cool stuff out of Scroll too. Like he's on the tier list. He's good. He does good stuff. So
we should talk a little bit about them, because we kind of brushed them aside just a little bit, and we were right to.
Yeah.
We're right to make the distinction between them and someone like Human Torch and Dark Phoenix. But I think just to maybe, if we want to spend maybe a few minutes talking about the strengths of both of them, I think I have some things to point out about Yondu. Saying if that sounds good.
So I need to go in a few minutes. I have done a video on Scroll. I will be honest, I have forgotten almost all of it. And yes, that does say a little bit about Scroll, in my opinion. Good champion, just not memorable. I did put out a video on Yondu just yesterday. I literally love playing him. He, like, when I think about Ascension and all the stuff I was talking about, like balancing the game, moving forward and stuff, I hope he's the sort of champion that they choose to let us ascend early and often. Like, I think he's incredibly fun, handles a lot. I I'm going to answer one or two questions, and then Matty, I'd love to get your thoughts on the champions, and then we'll sign out. Vega, need your thoughts on R4 Spider-Ham ASAP. He's really, really good. We have him in, I think he's like a 9 dual threat out of 10 in Battlegrounds. Not as high as Spider-Woman or Photon as far as their dual threat nature in BGs. Often not used in war, and that's mainly because he can be a little squishy, but it's a bit deceiving because he's got another mechanic that like blunts the attack of a champion. I don't remember exactly what it is. Great champion, solid tier 2 on the general tier list. So if you enjoy him, I think he's very worthy of rank 4. A lot of people have a lot of fun with him. I use all my ranks to buy Deathless, so still need to buy Deathless Recruit. I do like that they're doing it. The prices of the champions did seem a little high to me, but as someone who went and got the Deathless originally, I'll admit I have not focused much in on them. To be fair, earning Radiance for most people is not easy. If they're not in high tier war, pushing BGs, also very, very true. Radiance is yeah, that's an accurate point. Do you need Nefaria? No. He's very good though. He's one of those interesting ones that's like, you never need any champion, and I don't want to be like annoying about it. I hate that stuff. But he's one of those champions where he's like in the Illuminati when we do the tier list, he's a frequent source of debate on like, wait, do we move him up or is he just right? Or but he feels as good. Like he's a really great champion. He's like, if there was more tiers in the tier list, he'd be right in between the first tier and the second tier. And then when we remove the PvP format of like Battlegrounds, because he's a little bit slower in Battlegrounds outside of certain metas, okay? Although he's very good. He when you remove all that, he's one of the best champions in the game. So for content and questing and stuff like that. I'm free to play on just 6 games. It's safe to say Banquet and Cyberweekend isn't for me, right? Probably not. Matty just did a full tier list on the offers. You can go back. It starts at an hour 34 in the thing. He did a phenomenal breakdown, and I would maybe take a look at
I have
that.
6,000 units. What would I do? If I had 6,000 units,
So I have 7K.
I would say I mean you could get 3 rank yeah, I mean I would say probably not. But I'm at 12K and I'm tempted.
I have 7. I'm not going to be spending on this, the units on this, because there's nothing. I also was a large whale, so I think that changes it a lot. And I don't think my advice on that, as far as like my particular account, is very helpful. Because like, yeah, I'm going to feel this in BGs, not participate in the sale, but I'm still probably going to have significantly more rank 4s than the vast majority of players. So yeah, I'm just gonna let's pretend I never said anything. All right, Matty, let's get your thoughts on Yondu and Scroll, and then we'll sign out for the day.
All right, so Yondu. First of all, I don't know if anybody here has seen the video by Alison Edits on 7-star Yondu. In typical Alison fashion, she says that he's the best tech character in the game. He's not. You have to get used to that when you watch her content, but she does show some very, very powerful things to do with this character. His ruptures can be applied through the block, and the ruptures are the majority of his damage output. He can increase the damage of those ruptures through his Fury on his SP2. However, when you pair the fact that you can just hit the opponent's block with his combat power rate reduction through just every debuff he has in the opponent, you can get through a significant amount of the opponent just hitting block and doing nothing else. And that is definitely worth something in Battlegrounds where the matches are shorter, or questing, and if like for whatever reason there's a tough but short fight. But just in general as well, just think about that. You know, another champion where nothing has to actually happen and you just deal the damage, and it's a lot of damage, especially from a 7-star. From a 6-star it's good, but from a 7-star it exists and you will notice it. And then Super Scroll. Super Scroll is the third in the line of hey, we've buffed a champion and they're not coming to the game through ordinary routes, and they're kind of annoying. And may I remind everybody that the first 2 characters in that line were Captain Britain and Rhino. So we may not have seen everything that Super Skrull has to offer on defense, and if it's anywhere near his predecessors, we've got a problem. because I don't know if you saw Rhino in the brawl. I can't believe I'm about to say this, but Rhino made a bigger splash than CGR, which is certainly something I never thought I'd say.
Yeah.
But Captain Britain, endlessly annoying. Rhino, endlessly annoying. Super Scroll may well be right up there too. So those are their strengths. That's all I'm going to say.
It made a ton of sense. I see my alliance upside is having a field day. Love this alliance. We're nice job, guys. Hope you guys are having fun. And remember, everyone, but I'm talking to upside. Guys, remember, you don't need to spend to be in this alliance. If you're having fun and you're enjoying the game, spend, have a great time. But if you're feeling any sort of pressure because you're looking at this alliance feed or something like that, you got here without spending. You don't need to spend. All right. Thank you very much, everybody. Make sure everyone goes and subscribes to Matty's channel. The link is in the description. You heard what the guy has to say. He's really, really smart and funny too. Thank you, everyone, for being here. The chat. I saw so many of you. I apologize. I didn't say hello to everyone. We got a little focused on the game and the advice at various points of time. Thank you, Lionel and T995 for the very generous donations. Hope you guys are having a blast. The general tier list will be out Saturday morning for everyone for, as a tool, for the rank up guidelines, or you got to rank up who you enjoy. You're going to play them better. And yeah, I got a lot coming out, actually.
Matty.
4 videos last and all that stuff. Matt, do you have anything you want to promote before we sign off?
No, someone just wrote justice for Matty in
Justice.
the chat. I don't know why, but justice for me. I don't know why, but I'm gonna say it anyway.
It's AJA. He's pretty funny, so he's having a good time. All right.
Okay.
Matty, why don't you take us out, bud?
Well, thank you everybody for joining us. Like, if you're spending or you're not spending, I've enjoyed being here. It's been great having a chat with everybody. So thank you very much. I am certainly going to go and think pretty hard on this and then make a decision. I hope everyone else does the same. Well, thank you very much for watching. And should I do a full outro, or are you going to do that?
Full outro. Thanks so much for watching, everybody.
Well,
take care. Matty, full outro.
All right. If you have made it this far, then congratulations. You have an attention span greater than that of a goldfish. Now go away.
But come back, please. We need you. Bye.
Come back later, but go away now.